Thanks for speaking with us. I wanted to know your perspective on, obviously there's a lot of positives in fighting back, but also you do have the two goals that were conceded were fairly big mistakes. From my perspective anyway, I was wondering how you sort of take that in overall in a game that was mostly positive based on what the players were saying.
Yeah, I agree. I think if you just take those two actions, that's one game. But if you see overall what happened, I think you can have more positive things. So I think we need to try to learn for sure because again, we cannot concede um, two goals like that. We knew that they were so dangerous in transitions, and I think especially the second one, we were disprotected. Rest defense wasn't as we were planning. We disprotected the middle, and then not good enough in that transition. And then the first one, it's I think a situation where it's a mistake, things that can happen. But I think we've done a great game. We knew that they were so dangerous, especially running behind, playing long balls, second balls, and being very transitional. Our main aim was to play the game that we wanted, and I think we've been very compact, not allowing them to have a broken game. And then during most of the time, we've been very dominant, playing in the half. I think being better than last week, especially in the last third, and creating more chances, clear chances. So I think it's positive because I see the team better than last week, but we still need to, of course, to keep improving.
Uh, you mentioned being compact, especially as the match went on, but it did at halftime. It was obviously you switched Lucia and Gabby. You flip them around, and it seemed like there was an effort to perhaps because you could have to down two to stretch the game and try and um, use that as part of the way to come back. What was the thought process on changing things a little bit to make sure that it wasn't just simply go out and play better was the instruction?
Well, the message for me was clear that we needed to continue as we were playing because I think we were doing great things. Just being aware on those, especially the situations where we were attacking in the half, controlling the rest defense. And then we just switched Gabi and Lucci just to have a different rest defense. And also on the right with Lucci, maybe we could have more options in a 2v1 with Rose. And also she could have sorry she could help us also crossing and getting in those situations in the last third. And I think the team has done a great job, and Gabby protecting a little bit more inside with Tia and Esme. And yeah, you need sometimes to change things to provoke different situations, different scenarios. But I'm very happy the way that the team has faced the second half because being too nil down, it's not easy. And then we've been, believing that we could get 3 points from the beginning, and then I think the team has maybe deserved a little bit more today.
Appreciate it. I'll pass the mic.
We will go to Luis.
Buenas noches, Luis Rodríguez por acá de la línea podcast, coach. ¿Verdad? Hablas de la semana pasada, que quizás no hubieron tantas ocasiones claras como hoy. ¿Qué fue lo que se habló, verdad, en esas prácticas de la semana para poder quizás venir este juego, segundo juego, un poco más agresiva?
Bueno, pues sobre todo en intentar ser más agresivas, ¿no? En atacar esos espacios a la espalda de la línea defensiva, en llegar con más gente, ¿no? Sobre todo también, pues extremos contrarios, llegar al área, jugadoras a lo mejor desde segunda línea. Hoy, por ejemplo, el caso del gol de Lacey, necesitamos que pise área, Lacey, Hall, la calidad del tipo de centro, el tipo de centro en función de cómo está el rival, cómo defiende. Bueno, hemos insistido mucho en cómo solucionar esas situaciones, ¿no? Sobre todo cuando llegamos por fuera y cómo poder atacar el área. Creo que el equipo hoy lo ha hecho mejor. Es cierto que nos sigue faltando a veces un poco de eficacia en ese último pase o en esa toma de decisión, cuándo centrar, cuándo finalizar. Pero bueno, el equipo creo que ha estado mejor y bueno, es positivo.
Y la última, ¿cómo, verdad? ¿Cómo lidiar esta temporada primero, verdad? No había empezado ya y ya perdieron a la arquera básicamente y volvió Andy también. O sea, ¿cómo puedes integrarla al equipo, ¿no? Después de casi un año fuera.
Bueno, pues como estamos haciendo poco a poco, Andy ha hecho un trabajo espectacular durante la off-season, trabajando sola, preparándose para poder llegar a pretemporada en condiciones óptimas y cada vez está entrenando mejor. Es cierto que, bueno, viene de un periodo muy largo, evidentemente sin entrenar, sin competir y necesitará su tiempo, pero bueno, cada vez está más cerca. Hoy yo creo que es una noticia muy positiva evidentemente para ella, pero también para el equipo, para el club. Verla otra vez en un terreno de juego creo que es algo muy positivo y esperemos que poco a poco nos vaya dando más minutos y más opciones.
We'll go to Andre.
Hey, Adrián, thanks for speaking with us. First, I wanted to ask a little bit about your perspective and what happened with Trinity Rodman. We didn't get a lot of information on the broadcast, and it looked like she was ready to check back in the game. So, can you tell us a little bit about what happened there?
Yeah, they were checking on her because of a concussion, and she was a little bit, how do you say that? Dizzy, dizzy.
Yeah.
The medical staff was checking on her, and yeah, to be honest, after a few minutes with one player down, I didn't want to take any risk continuing with one player down the game as it was, and especially thinking about her health. I didn't want to take any risk, even though obviously players in that situation they are like, okay, I'm fine, but we didn't want to risk, and that's why I've decided to sub her.
All right, I appreciate that. Thank you. Um, I also wanted to ask you about, big picture, looking at the team. The Spirit have a clear way that you want them to play, that the team wants to play. And I know results are important, and obviously last week didn't go great, and you end up down 0-2 in this game. How do you balance making sure that the team has the identity that it needs to have, and also knowing that you also need to get results, even though it's early in a long season, you still need to make sure you're picking up points?
Believing in what we are doing in the process. So I always say the same. So when we win, we don't get too much crazy, and when we lose, also the same. So we try to keep a balance emotionally, and to be honest, I feel like we are now just building. We are starting. We haven't had an ideal preseason altogether with all the internationals gone, and probably we've been together for 4 weeks, and now I feel that we are just still carrying that, and we are just now training all together and building what we want. We are not that clean, that clinical as we wanted, but it's part of the process. For me, the positive thing is like I know what potential we have. I know the players. I know where we are gonna be. I see how they train. I see that we are getting better every week, and I'm not worried, to be honest. The last two results, obviously, we want to win. We are very competitive, but I'm happier than last week because of what I've seen today, and also what I've seen during the training sessions during the week. So, to be honest, if we maybe have had 2 wins and playing bad, I wouldn't be happy either. So I'm a type of person who believes in a long term, in a process. I know how we want to work, how we want to build what we want, and I know this is gonna be a long season. And yeah, we are just at the beginning.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Go back to Jason.
Adrian, I did want to ask, obviously you got to bring Andy back into the match, even if it was only in stoppage time, it's still a pretty big milestone. I was wondering if you could maybe tell us about what that means to the group, not necessarily about her long-term prospects or anything like that, but just in general, the having her back in the mix, not just at training, but actually playing.
It's a great obviously new because Andy means a lot to this team and to this organization. She's been here for a while. I don't know how many years, and she represents the values that we want to spread as a team, as an organization. She's a great leader. She's a great teammate. We all love her a lot. And also after her injury and also after being a mom, that resilience that she's showing, to be there, being humble, working hard every day to be back with the team and being able now to play and be there. For me, it's an honor. It's a big learning to all of us. And as a coach, I always want to have players like her on the field because tactically she's outstanding and she understands everything that is happening. And it's a great way also to communicate what you want with the team. So yeah, I'm so happy for her, and also we all are very happy.
And last one for me is more about the decision to go with Sophia up front in this match. Obviously, she scores a wonderful goal, but I was wondering what influenced your thinking on that. Was it specific to Louisville? Was it about last week's performances or something else?
A little bit of everything. We are trying to have a nice competition between players, and we wanna rotate. We wanna make it difficult for each player. They know that they need to perform. It doesn't matter if they start the first half, second half. And today with Sof, we wanted to have that positioning also between center backs and sometimes dropping and getting into the box. Um, and I think she's done a great job. And also during the week, she's been training really good. We knew that they were very aggressive jumping. And yeah, we were trying to have maybe those situations with her pass and run, making 2 or 3 efforts at the same time. And also, knowing that with Rose and Trim, we could have a lot of chances to get the box. So be ready for that. And yeah, again, we need to make those rotations. Sometimes we have another game on Wednesday, and then we're gonna have another one the weekend. So yeah, this is part of the process.
Appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Luis, do you have another?
Yes, coach, quería preguntarte, no estuve la semana pasada y quería preguntarte, o sea, ¿qué tan difícil es volver a encajar un grupo después de haber perdido varios jugadores importantes, ¿verdad? En el verano, en off-season, y cómo volver otra vez a encontrar una identidad de juego con estas nuevas jugadoras como las que llegaron ahora?
Bueno, al final cada año siempre es un reto, porque salen jugadoras o porque llegan jugadoras nuevas y siempre tienes que adaptar alguna cosa. Pero yo creo que la identidad es muy clara, no va a cambiar, llevamos 2 años trabajando en eso y evidentemente que la vamos a ir adaptando en función del perfil de jugadoras que tengamos, pero lo bueno es que en base a lo que ya hemos construido los 2 últimos años, ahora es mucho más fácil de iniciar, de que la gente se adapte y bueno, ahí estamos intentando también encajar un poco esas piezas, las nuevas jugadoras e intentando encontrar un poco cuál es la mejor opción a corto plazo y también a largo plazo para poder rendir y también para poder construir lo que queremos de cara a la temporada.
All right, is everyone good?